Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Robyn Pope. She heads up the Top Pet Photography studio in North Texas. She heads up Haute Dog Photography. Next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, but a lot of Gen Zs are kind of putting off getting married, and so their pets are their fur babies. And it's become a huge business for a lot of people, including my next guest. Robyn Pope is in the studio. She heads up Haute Dog Pet Photography. Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure, Jeff. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, you have an interesting background, because as I was looking at your bio, neurobiologist, forensic scientist, FBI. so you had all this stuff going on.
Absolutely.
So how did all of that turn into pet photography?
So I did. I started out with my degree in neurobiology, physiology, and behavior. I've always been a science nerd. I thought I was going to be a veterinarian, and ultimately in my freshman year of college, kind of took a step back and realized the reason I was still going down that trajectory was because I'd never really contemplated anything else. And so in taking a quick pause, I realized my real passion was in forensic science. Ended up getting my master's in forensic science out at George Washington, and ultimately spent 14 years working for the FBI, everything from crimes against children to cyber counterintelligence and counterterrorism.
Wow.
Truly an amazing career. But at the heart of it all, I am a dog mom, and this business and this venture is where my heart and soul lies.
All right, tell us about Jake.
So Jake is the reason behind everything. Jake was my Bernese Mountain Dog. I rescued him in 2010, and he got me through so many ups and downs in life, was truly like my rock. And I wanted, like every dog mom out there, to make Jake live forever. And unfortunately, neurobiology failed me at that. So I ended up pursuing photography. And by taking photos of Jake and capturing his personality and just the spirit of who he really was, I think I did that. I think I did make Jake live forever. And now this business is his legacy. And so he lives on in every portrait that I get to create for every dog mom out there.
Wow. We're going to pull up her website because she has amazing photography right there on the website. And as we scroll down this, tell us how it progressed. So you're taking pictures of Jake. Do your friends say, can you take pictures of my dog, or what happens?
Yeah, so I actually began by photographing in animal shelters. I really realized the importance of capturing that personality of each dog that's waiting for its home. And in doing so, I was able to help a lot of rescue groups in San Diego, where we were initially based. And then people started seeing our work and asking, oh, will you photograph my dog? Or, I need photos like this. And, what started out as, a small venture, one client here and there, ultimately grew into my full-time job. And now my life is champagne bubbles and puppy snuggles, and it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
I love it. And there's another page on your website that we're going to pull up, because you own a 7-acre studio. Let's go ahead and pull this up so people can appreciate this. You started out taking pictures in like city parks?
Absolutely, yeah. So all over different public places, we used to do location scouting all over the DFW Metroplex. And ultimately, we kept running into the same problems. And those were, a lot of people have dog selective or dog reactive dogs. There are a lot of dogs running in off leash into your session. It kind of disruptive. And then in any perfect location, there are going to be 100 photographers vying for that same perfect light and that same perfect spot. And so I had this harebrained idea that we would put it all in one place. and it would be basically the ultimate dog photography studio. So we have 7 acres. They're fully fenced for the safety of the dogs. It keeps all the other animals out, and it's just about our client's dog for their session. Our indoor studio is located on the same property, so we have the option to do indoor and outdoor, maximizing the variety of our photos and creating really an epic experience. And then we've basically designed all these different sets around the property. So we put the dock in our pond for White Rock Lake, and we have the big open hay fields for Arbor Hills from Plano. And then we put in a red barn for Samuel Farms, and then our vintage truck. And ultimately, we just keep building it out so that there are incredibly unique places to create these photos for everybody here.
All right, let's talk about the challenge because when I got into the news business, they said pets and pets and children. A person who takes pictures of children has a challenge.
Yes.
Right there. But is it more difficult working with pets than it is children?
Ooh, I don't know, more or less. I'd say it's a different challenge. And I'm incredibly grateful for my right-hand man, or woman, I should say. Lauren is my behind-the-scenes magician. She helps hold the dogs in place in front of the camera and ensures that everybody's having an incredible time so that I can focus on producing that shot. And then Lauren and the leash and all the distractions in the background ultimately get edited out. So no matter how squirrely the dogs are, people end up with the most amazing photos of their dogs looking at the camera.
That's incredible. Okay, so walk me through that a little bit, because I know if I was photographing children, I would have a squeaky toy. I'd have something to make the child smile. Okay, well, how do you make that perfect picture?
So we also use a lot of funny squeaky noises, different types of treats, different smells, different tactile elements that are intriguing to the animals that we're working with. And we basically have a whole buffet of treats that kind of different dogs resonate with different things, and we find the one that's the most high value to them. And then I wear like a whole system of noises and make some funny noises myself.
I love that. I love that. No, you're an artist, and
thank you.
You know, when they're hiring you, they're expecting the best, and it doesn't matter what kind of day that pet is having. You've got to capture them at their best. So have you ever had a challenge where you couldn't get that perfect picture, or do you always figure it out?
So knock on wood, 11 and a half years in business, we have not failed yet. We actually do offer a no-fail guarantee, where if we can't get your dog to smile for the camera, your session will be refunded, because we're not here to just create photos of your dog. We're here to create your dog's best day, and we want you to look back at those portraits and realize that you had the opportunity to spoil them the way that they deserve, and that they had an amazing time doing it. So we don't force the dogs to do anything.
I love it. And you have a very special video we're going to put on the screen. This is Courtney, who is watching her album for the first time, and she gets emotional. Why don't you narrate this for us?
One of my amazing dog mom clients. So Courtney had 5 French bulldogs, and this was the album that we customized and delivered to her. And this was her first time seeing it, and she definitely got a little emotional, which is always emotional for me as well. It means that I've done my job well. And so in going through her portraits and seeing her dog's paw prints, and realizing that she has a way now that her dogs will always be there in her home, despite the fact that several of them were aging. I think it gets overwhelming as a dog mom to realize, like, we did find a way to actually make our dog live forever.
And what is it like as you're watching this video and you just see how emotional? What does that feel like?
I get emotional every time I watch my clients open their artwork, or hang a portrait on the wall, or flip through their album, or even just relive the moment, whether it's in social media reels or looking at their portraits on their phone. It means the world to know that I've created an experience for dog moms that just resonates with them and just makes their pet even more important in their life, and that we've created such a unique and magical way to do that.
Well, a cornerstone of your business is philanthropy. In fact, we met through a gala from a mutual friend, and so talk about your philanthropy over the years.
Absolutely, it's definitely part of our heart's work. Our business is really big on giving back to the community, whether that be through donating our services or donating funds. We also do a lot of fundraising and galas, and in the next couple months, we'll actually hit an incredible milestone that I'm super proud of. We will have donated over $100,000 to charitable causes and philanthropic efforts that really just mean the world to us.
That's incredible. And tell us why giving back is such fundamental to your business.
So Jake was a rescue dog, and like I said, he really shaped who I am and shaped a lot of the person that I grew up to be. And so giving back to dog rescues is a no-brainer. I love being a part of telling a dog's story and helping them find the right home, or watching that rags to riches story. And then I've been involved in a lot of philanthropic efforts like the one we met at. I lost my grandmother to MS, and so giving back to medical causes like that, or the American Heart Association in honor of my aunt, those are all incredibly important things to me. And so being able to have a business that supports those things has been fulfilling.
Well, I applaud you because you could have had a very successful career in neurobiology, but I don't think it would be nearly as rewarding as what you're doing now.
I don't know. I'm definitely one of those people who loves to pursue things to their fullest. And so neurobiology was an incredible way to start my adulthood, and then, had an incredible career with the FBI, and ultimately just realized that my heart's mission is with animals and with dogs. And like I said, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
Well, there's a line on your website that talks about your mission is to help pets live forever. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So again, just being able to capture the true spirit and the personality of each animal that we work with. I think it's really important for people to have tangible artwork, whether it's portraits that hang on their wall or an album that they can flip through. And like I said, just as far as dogs, unfortunately, they're not with us forever. And it's definitely never long enough, no matter whether it's a year or 12 years or longer than that. And Jake's been gone for 3 years, and I know I still get choked up thinking about him. And I know that having those tangible, physical pieces of artwork in my home means that Jake is always home with me.
So beautiful. In the minute we have left, I mean, everybody has a camera on their phone these days, so everyone can take pictures of their own pets. Why do they need to bring in a professional like you?
Sure. So I'm a huge advocate for both. I think you should take 1 million cell phone photos of your dogs every single day. But then there's also a time and a place for professional pet photography, and I'm honored to be able to create an experience that dog moms get to enjoy with their dogs. So it's not just about creating a higher level portrait with better lighting or different locations. It's about being involved in the session, and it's about enjoying that moment with your dog, and also just stepping back and watching your dog get loved and spoiled. So the way we use our lighting helps with a lot of different things, like dark dogs. Dark faces are really tricky to capture with cell phones. Action photos, we use specific lighting outdoors that really helps capture the color and personality that we're known for. And so I would never say one is better than the other. I think there's absolutely a place for both.
Wow, you've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with her website, which is hautedogpetphotography.com. The great Robyn Pope. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks very much, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.